You're hiking. You round a corner. There's a bear 40 feet in front of you. It sees you. It stops. And then it stands up on its hind legs, all 7 feet of it, and stares directly at you. Every instinct in your body is screaming the same thing. It's about to charge. Except it's not. And that misunderstanding has gotten people killed. A standing bear looks like the most threatening thing in nature. Full height. Full body mass on display. Direct eye contact. In movies, that's the last thing the victim sees before the attack. In reality, a bear standing on its hind legs is almost never in attack mode. It's doing something completely different. Something that has nothing to do with aggression and everything to do with the problem bears have been dealing with for millions of years. They can't see you very well. Here's what most people don't know about bears. For an apex predator, their eyesight is shockingly bad. A bear's vision is roughly equivalent to a human's, maybe slightly worse. They can see color, they can detect movement, but their ability to identify a stationary object at a distance? Terrible. What bears do have is an extraordinary sense of smell. A black bear can smell food from over a mile away. A grizzly can detect a carcass from 20 miles in the right wind conditions. Their sense of smell is estimated to be 2,100 times better than a human's. But here's the problem. When a bear is walking on all fours, its nose is close to the ground. Its eyes are low. Air currents swirl unpredictably at ground level. When a bear encounters something unexpected, something that doesn't compute, it needs more information. So it stands up. Not to threaten. Not to prepare for attack. To see and smell you better. When a bear stands on its hind legs, it's doing 3 things simultaneously. 1. Raising its eyes to get a clearer view. 2. Lifting its nose to catch your scent above ground-level air turbulence. 3. Reading your body language, your size, your behavior. A standing bear isn't deciding whether to attack you. It's deciding what you are. Think about what's going through that bear's brain in those few seconds. You don't smell like normal prey. You don't move like normal prey. You're upright, which is unusual. You might be carrying strange objects, a backpack, trekking poles, a camera. From the bear's perspective, you're a mystery. And bears, like most wild animals, are deeply uncomfortable with mysteries. So the bear stands, sniffs, stares. It's running through its mental database of threats, food sources, and things to avoid. Have I seen this before? Does this smell like food? Is this something that could hurt me? Should I leave, or should I investigate? That assessment usually takes between 5 and 15 seconds. And in most cases, the bear reaches the same conclusion. Not food. Not a threat, I understand. Not worth the risk. And it drops back to all fours and leaves. But here's where human behavior makes everything worse. When a bear stands up and a human panics, 2 things typically happen. The person either runs or screams and makes sudden, erratic movements. Both of those responses are wrong. And both of them can turn a curious bear into an aggressive one. Running triggers a chase response. You're no longer a mystery. You're prey. And a bear can run 30 miles per hour. You cannot outrun a bear. Ever. Screaming and flailing can trigger a defensive response. Sudden aggression signals a threat, and if the bear perceives you as dangerous, it may attack preemptively to protect itself. The correct response to a standing bear is the most counterintuitive thing you can do. Stay calm. Speak in low, steady tones. Back away slowly without turning your back. Give the bear space. In a study of over 1,000 bear encounters conducted by bear biologist Dr. Stephen Herrero, bears that stood up and assessed humans displayed aggression in fewer than 6% of cases. And of those, the vast majority involve surprise encounters at very close range or mothers with cubs. Standing alone is not a threat display. It's a question mark. Because context is everything. A bear standing up and sniffing the air? Curiosity. A bear standing up, popping its jaw, huffing, and swatting the ground? Warning. A bear standing briefly and then dropping to all fours and moving toward you with its ears pinned back? Threat assessment turning aggressive. The key is what happens after the bear stands. That's where the real information is. If the bear stands, sniffs, and then wanders off or returns to what it was doing, it's decided you're not interesting. If it stands and then starts closing the distance, making vocalizations, or showing signs of agitation, jaw popping, huffing, head swaying, it's escalating. And there's one scenario where a standing bear absolutely means danger, a bluff charge. Bears, especially grizzlies, will sometimes charge to within a few feet of a perceived threat, stand up at the last second, and roar. It's terrifying. It's meant to be. But it's not an attack. It's a test. They're trying to see if you'll run. If you hold your ground, stay calm, and avoid eye contact, the bear almost always backs off. If you run, you've just told the bear you're prey. Let's look at the numbers, because they tell a very different story than our instincts do. Between 2000 and 2017, there were over 750,000 recorded bear encounters in North American national parks. Of those, fewer than 50 resulted in serious injury. That's a 0.006% incident rate. Of the attacks that did happen, researchers found that in more than 80% of cases, the bear never stood up at all. The attacks were sudden, close range, and defensive, usually mothers protecting cubs or bears startled at very short distances. The bears that stood up? They almost always left. A 2011 study in Yellowstone National Park tracked 300 grizzly bear encounters where the bear stood upright. In 284 of those cases, the bear walked away within 30 seconds. In 12 cases, the bear bluff charged and retreated. In only 4 cases did the encounter escalate to physical contact, and all 4 involved surprise encounters under 10 feet. Translation: a standing bear is not preparing to attack. It's preparing to decide. So the next time you're on a trail and you see a bear rise up on its hind legs, here's what's actually happening. That bear is not sizing you up as prey. It's not gearing up for a fight. It's trying to figure out what kind of weird, two-legged, loud-smelling thing just walked into its space. It's asking the same question you are. What is this, and should I be worried? And in almost every case, once it gets a good look and a good sniff, the answer is the same. Nope. Not worth it. Here's the truth that should comfort you. Bears don't want to fight you. They don't want to eat you. They want to figure out if you're a threat, and then they want to go back to doing bear things. A standing bear is asking a question. It's not making a statement. The next time you see one rise up, take a breath. Speak calmly. Back away slowly. Let the bear finish its assessment. Because that 7-foot wall of fur and muscle towering over you, it's not a monster. It's just an animal with bad eyesight trying to get a better look. And once it does, it's probably going to walk away. Fear is natural. Understanding is survival. This is Idea Spark, where we ignite curiosity one idea at a time.